The other day when I recorded the video and said that I had an important announcement to make, and that the announcement was that I was going to be remaining open for business and that I was going to be spreading the virus of truth, just as I usually do, or as much as I usually attempt to do so on this video channel. I was, of course, being kind of trying to be kind of humorous and lighthearted, but at the same time, there was a serious side to it, which is that I wanted to put something out there that constitutes something that feels like a win, maybe, or that feels moralizing as opposed to demoralizing. It's been my assertion that a side effect, and perhaps an intended side effect, of the constant announcements of this is closing up, this is closing up, this is canceled, that's canceled, the latest thing that really pissed me off is they canceled my son's soccer season this spring. And my son was okay with it, but I was just really annoyed by it, because it doesn't seem to me like there's any there should be anything dangerous about a small group of boys playing soccer against another small group of boys with a few parents in attendance. You're telling me that is going to be an occasion for, anytime you're around other people, there are microorganisms in the air that might pass from one to another. But honestly, to go from saying, okay, no large crowds, to saying no crowds, no small crowds, so even small conferences or, classroom settings with 20 or 30 students, even that's something to avoid. To saying, we can't have boys playing soccer for their final year in middle school, to take that away from my son, even though, as I said, he was okay with it. I was the one who was struggling with it. He seemed to have made his peace with it already, but that was tough. That was a tough pill to swallow for me, because I know it was taking something away from my son unnecessarily. Because of all of this nonsense, because of this hysteria, because of all of this hype and panic that is so endemic, and that is, it strikes me that this is really worse than the disease itself. However nasty or bad it might be to have COVID-19. I've been through this before. It's the lethality rate is not that high, even compared to other viruses that have of recent vintage, right? So, taking steps to prevent its spread, that's one thing. But this putting civilization on hold, canceling everything, closing everything down, making everyone feel paranoid and unsafe at all times because of something that's probably in most cases just going to manifest as nothing all that much more severe or extreme than the common cold, or maybe a bad case of the flu, or maybe even not so bad case of the flu, but that can be deadly in certain circumstances with certain people. Again, that really seems to me to be the thing that is, well, it's like they're trying to demoralize us. That's the impression that I have. And who do I mean by them or they? I don't know. I mean whoever's running the show, the powers that be, the powers that shouldn't be, the powers that that arrogate themselves to be powerful, and to believe that they have the right to authority or control or dominion over the rest of us. So all this is to say, when I recorded that video the other day, it was because I got so sick of, and this is even before I heard for sure that my son wasn't going to get to play soccer this spring. But I was, even at that point, so sick of hearing cancellations after cancellations after cancellations after this is shut down, that's shut down, after, don't go anywhere. God, I actually walked into the gym today. I'm giving more personal details than I usually do. I actually walked into the gym locker room today. And of course, they've got signs up everywhere, about how to keep the machines clean and wash your hands and blah, 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 which, whatever, that's fine. But I walked into the locker room, and who should be broadcasting on the television screen in the locker room but good old CNN. And so it flashed to the newsreader, and she said something like, right now, what everyone has to do is just act like you've already got the virus. Behave as if you've already got the virus. That's what you need to do. I mean, okay, so that means that everybody, if we're taking her word for it, this newsreader, everybody just should isolate himself and have no contact with others, because he might have the virus, and having someone else in the same room with him might have the result of spreading the virus to another person. So therefore, everybody in the world should just find a private place where no other people are and just stay there for an indefinite length of time. Okay, how do we, how long, I mean, how do we feed ourselves? Who brings us our food and drink? That's one practical question. I mean, if we're acting like we've already got the virus, then I guess we shouldn't just, we shouldn't go anywhere to try to get food, even like the local Wendy's or whatever. And the local fast food restaurants are all, seem to have all made it so that you can't eat in, you have to order out. Which again, whatever, I don't really care about that. There are prudent measures that one can take, but these kinds of declarations, it seems to me, are meant to make us feel isolated and demoralized and powerless. And again, this is what causes me to wonder the thing I mentioned the other day. If this isn't some giant experiment, and they're looking at us and examining us as if we're lab rats to see what we're going to do under these circumstances. I mean, if they're actually going to get on, I mean, I know nobody really watches CNN, but except old people. And I mean, God, old people are the ones who are, I mean, they have reason to be concerned about this virus, but then they have reason to be concerned about, they mostly have more compromised immune systems in general. So, you can still keep it in perspective, but anyway, if they can get on CNN, or, some means of mass communication and tell us we need to act like we already have a virus that they're telling us is deadly, even though in the vast majority of cases it is not deadly, but we should act like we already have it. And therefore, and they're also telling us do this, do that, do the other thing. Don't infect other people. Don't put yourself in situations where you could infect other people. I mean, it seems to me that where this all leads to is not a good place. Psychologically speaking, spiritually speaking, you know. And again, it's as though they are using this this crisis, this health crisis, as a means of terrifying as many people as possible, and just trying to get us to break, just to see what it will take to break us, and then, you know, calmly taking notes, maybe dispassionately, inhumanly taking notes as if we were just lab rats to them. This, again, just my impression. Okay, take it or leave it. But it seems to me a very real possibility. So just to conclude my thoughts, when I broadcast that video the other day, I wanted it to have somewhat the savor of victory about it, and to be just different from what you're hearing everywhere else right now, which is we were going to keep this going, but now it's shut down. You know, you were going to get to have this experience, but now, phew, it's gone. You were going to interact. We were going to have this thing where people interact with other people, but now, you can't do it. You can't. Your son can't play soccer. You can't attend a certain conference because it's shut down. You can't go certain places. You can't do this. You can't do that. You can't if you even when it comes to entertainment, you can't unwind watching your favorite sports team because we're shutting the league down. And it's not that, again, prudent measures can be taken in times of crisis. I'm not disparaging prudent measures being taken. I am saying that all of this amounts to is something that strikes me as an imprudent measure in and of itself. Because if they really take things this far, to where you just make it so that nothing can stay open and nobody can go anywhere or do anything or have any I mean, I think you understand what I'm saying. Ultimately, this amounts to imprudence because it is such an overstep from what is needed. And that's what makes me think, again, that it's some kind of psyop. And so hopefully that video from the other day maybe it made you smile, maybe it made you laugh, maybe it made you chuckle derisively. I know I have my haters, but hopefully it brought some kind of, not just levity, but some sense of, we can do this. We can, we're gonna be okay. We're not shutting everything down, even though, of course, this video channel doesn't put anybody at risk. That was part of the joke of the video, but still, that was the message I was trying to convey in a broader sense, and hopefully it took. That's all I'll say about it. So I wanted to just give that clarification. So thanks for watching. My name's Andy Nowicki. Please check out my work at altrightnovelist.com or lowstatusnovelist.blogspot.com.